Hello everyone, my name is Samantha Jameson and I am the marketing specialist at NBS Scientific. NBS Scientific is a distributor for the life science industry in the United Kingdom, but we do also have sister companies located across the globe. So today we are going to give a short presentation on the Sci-Print VX2 fully automated tube labeling system from Scinomix. And before I pass things off to my colleague Ryan, who will give us a very in-depth product demonstration, I'm going to talk a little bit about the manufacturer of the product, which is again Scinomix, because I would like to give you all a better understanding of the wide range of products that Scinomix develops, because we at NBS Scientific also offer their full product portfolio to our customers. So let's begin. So Scinomix is a company that is dedicated to developing semi-automated and fully automated tube and plate labeling systems. Their products are compatible with a very wide range of applications, so everything from drug discovery to forensics and biobanking and animal science and agricultural science. Their equipment is used within many different companies. Companies like the CDC, Bristol-Myers Squibb, Genentech, Monsanto, Pfizer, so many different companies. And lastly, their products are incredibly modular and customizable depending on your specific workflow or application. So for example, the Sci-Print VX2, which we are talking about today, the base unit is a labeler. However, you can add modules to, for example, scan 2D barcodes or fill tubes with aqueous solutions, or you can even pair the unit with a bulk tube feeder, which will essentially rack your tubes for you. So there are so many different possibilities with the Sci-Print VX2 and the other products from Scinomix, but again, today we are focusing on the Sci-Print VX2 fully automated tube labeling system. So now I am going to pass things off to my colleague Ryan, who will take us through a very in-depth product demonstration.
This is the Sci-Print VX2 by Scinomix. It's an automated tube labeling system that will pick tubes from racks, print and apply labels to the tubes, and return tubes to the racks. This unit has a 6-rack deck capacity. We also offer a larger unit with double the capacity, the VXL, which can hold up to 12 racks. The unit's also compatible with a wide range of tube types, from as small as 0.5 milliliters to as large as 50 milliliters. Processing speed is approximately 425 tubes per hour, so it's very fast, and it gives you a lot of walk-away time. The unit, we also offer a variety of label sizes, and the labels are resistant down to cryo temperatures, LN2. The unit also comes with easy-to-use software, which allows for label design as well as run setup. Information that can be printed on the labels includes text, barcodes, and images, and the unit can also work with work lists for customers that want to print sample-specific and tube-specific information. In addition to labeling, some other features that the unit has is that it can uncap, fill, and recap tubes as part of the filling process. It can also incorporate a barcode reader to read 2D barcodes on the bottom of the tubes, or scan a barcode that you've printed as part of a verification step. The unit can also incorporate a bulk tube feeder, which we offer. There's 2 types. We offer a VXQ and a VXI, and what that allows you to do is dump tubes into the feeder, and the unit will fill your racks for you, so the user doesn't have to do that process. So now I'm going to show you the software. This is the main screen that you'll come to when logging in to the VX software. And this home screen, it's a run summary. So there's a few things you'll see. There's run parameters, Rack name, that's the rack that you will be processing on the run. The run steps, that's going to tell you exactly what the run's going to do. In this case, pull tube from rack, place tube in roller, apply label, pull tube from roller, place tube in rack, and then over here on the right, you'll see the label that will be printed. So the first thing I want to show you is the label design part of the software. If you go to configuration and label documents, you'll see this label that we've created. Up above, we have other labels that we've created. So you can create and save labels. In this case, I'm going to start a new label just so you can see how you would start from scratch. So if we click new, you give the label a name, click OK. So now we have a blank template here. And there's one field that populates automatically, and it says sample text. So this is our first field. And as you can see, we can click and drag this anywhere on the label. We can fine-tune the position with these position coordinates here. If we want to move it further down, we can do that. If you want to adjust the angle, you have that option. And how do we want to display this? Do we want this to be text, barcode, or an image? And you have several different barcode types. You can see here's a barcode, and you can also rotate the barcode as well. So, but we'll leave this as text for now. And right here, we can type in the text information. And if we want to add another field, we'll click Add. And now we have two fields. Now I can click and drag the second field, and I can name that. The text can also, you can also adjust the size. You can go in smaller increments. The text can also be made bold, italicized. And there's no limit to the number of fields that you can add to the label. As long as you can fit the text on there, you can keep adding more fields. Some additional features here. Right now, with fixed text, every label I print in a given run is going to look exactly like what's designed here. If I were to select file data, that's when it pulls the label information from a work list. So that would allow you to print sample-specific information. For now, we're going to leave it as fixed text. You can also print the current date. If you'd like, you can also input the date manually at the print screen. And there's a number of different date formats. "2D barcode." Now that's going to pull a 2D barcode from a work list and print that barcode on the label. Prompt, that's going to prompt you to enter the text into that field prior to starting a run. So if you want to keep this label design, but enter in different information to the specific field and just adjust it prior to each run, you have that option through prompt. Auto increment is going to count incrementally each label that you print. So you can start at 1, or you can start at 01, etc., and it will count up for each label that's printed. You can also print the well position that the tube is pulled from. So for now, I am going to, if you were to save this label, you'd hit OK. I am going, for our run, I'm going to pull this label that I've already created. So we'll cancel out of here. And the next thing I'd like to show you is editing the run. So we'll click Edit. And this is how you set up and design your run. So there's 3 tabs. You'll see a source, action, and run end tab. For the source tab, first thing you select is where are you pulling the tubes from. In this case, from racks. If we had a bulk tube feeder, the unit could pull the tubes from that, but we don't have that connected right now. And you'll also select your rack type. And different rack types can be configured. In this case, we'll be processing 1.4 ml micronic tubes. And you have different options if you want to scan the rack barcode, run scripts, etc. The source order, so the order that it's going to pick tubes, it's going to go based off of what we select pre-run. If you want a work list to drive which tubes are processed, you have that option as well. Next is the Actions tab. And the label data source is right now set at label document. If you want to pull your label information from a work list, you'd select from data file. And we're telling it we do want it to print labels. If we were uncapping and recapping, we would select that, but we're not. So we'll go ahead and click Edit Label. And this is if we wanted to make some adjustments to our label, we could do that here and click OK. And Edit Stock, that would be if you're changing label sizes. So actually the actual physical dimensions of the label, you could do that through the label stock screen. So once again, we see our label here on the right. Last tab is Run End. Where do we want to put the tubes after it's been labeled? We want to return them to the rack. And the results file, if you want to send your run results to a specific location, you can do that here. So click Save, and at the bottom it says our run's good to go, so there's no errors. We'll click Save. Our run's set up, ready to go. Now we'll click Next. And here you have a preview of the deck. So we've got the 6 racks. Whether a rack's present or not, you can select that. Let's say we do have a rack in position 1. If you don't have any tubes, you say no. You can click which tubes are present. You can click and drag. So for this run, we'll process these 6 tubes. Click Next. And this is the prime labeler screen. So what you can do is manually print a label before you actually start a run to make sure you're satisfied with how it looks. And then when you're ready, you'll continue a run. So now I'm going to show you what the run looks like. So we've now have a closer look at the front of the instrument. So we have our 6 rack positions. We have our micronic tubes in position 1, and the tubes will be picked. They'll be taken to the labeler. A label will be printed and applied to the tube and returned to the rack. So I'll go ahead and start the run. And the run is complete. We'll take a look at the tubes. And you can see that the label's been applied perfectly to the tube. And we have our barcode, our text, and everything looks nice. And that is the Sci-Print VX2.